I'm here with boxing legend and champion, one of the greatest to ever do it, Evander the Real Deal Holyfield. How are you doing today, champ?
I'm doing good.
Now, you're one of the greatest to ever do it. You made your pro debut 36 years ago, and you still look in as good a shape as ever. What gives you the motivation and the drive to keep going and keep in shape when we see a lot of heavyweight champs just really let themselves go after retirement? A lot of boxers, it seems like when they're done in the ring, they let themselves go, they pig out. What gives you the motivation?
Well, it started from my mother. My mother was saying, you're in great shape. It's easy to maintain and to rebuild. So maintaining was been the big difference in my life, just maintaining.
Yeah, so you maintain, and throughout your career you fought so many great champs, Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe, Mike Tyson, the list goes on. Which fighter provided the toughest stylistic matchup for you?
I would say Lennox Lewis. Of course, but he was taller, had longer arms, hit real hard, but he was a thinker. Meaning that his style wasn't like everybody else. Yeah. And so he was a thinker, and so he was always making adjustments.
To me, Lennox Lewis is one of the best resumes of all time. I think he's one of the greatest heavyweights to ever do it. Do you think he's a bit underrated?
Well, but you know, the opinion is the people who watch and who talk about it. Yeah. And you know, definitely he's a great fighter.
You fought, like we said, all those great fighters. Which fighter do you think hit the hardest?
No doubt, I would say George Foreman. You know,
Big
well,
George.
he hit me with that good shot. But you know, a lot of people didn't get a chance to hit me. So, but you're gonna speak about the person who got it. But George Foreman hit me the hardest.
George Foreman, obviously a guy that you looked up to before. How does it feel to fight someone that you've looked up to and you kind of idolize and you've been watching for a long time when you finally get in there?
Yeah, you know, now it was quite different. I didn't want to fight him because I actually felt that fighting him, I'm fighting somebody older. So I wasn't gonna get no credibility because why should I not beat him? Yeah. You know, I was 29, he was 42. And so, but then on the other end, I'm gonna be embarrassed if he beat me because he's older. And so that means that if he was younger, he would really beat me. so I had to beat him.
It's funny because he was still such a great fighter, obviously in his older age, but you're right, you don't get the credit when you beat an older guy, even though, you know, what's really the difference? Especially at heavyweight, when your power's the last thing to go, and Big George was still packed a big punch at that time. So lately in boxing, we've seen a trend where people that are famous on the internet are putting on the gloves and they're training hard. What do you think about this trend of them fighting on major networks and really bringing a lot of viewers to boxing?
Well, I think it's good for the boxing game. Anytime the point of doing something right, if a person want to take the chance, say, "Oh, I'm a train these many months and we got a beef just to do it here," I think it'll help the game, and plus it make things competitive, make people like boxing even more so.
Yeah, I agree 100%. You know, you see a lot of people saying they're taking away opportunities from other boxers, but I don't see it like that. I think you're getting a lot of younger eyes in the sport, which is really important. Because obviously, when you were boxing was a bigger sport. I mean, back then it was as popular as the NFL or the NBA or something like that. You know, it really was like a major event, especially when you're fighting guys like Mike Tyson. What do you think boxing needs to do to get back to that point?
Well, it's obvious that you got to go back to the amateur program. When the amateur program is great, then fighters learn at a young age, and they're a lot better fighter. And I think when the Olympics, like in '84, it was going to be in LA, and so the United States wanted to do well, so they invested money into the amateur program, and they got a lot of great fighters.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And last but not least, you still look in great shape, but you've been out of the ring for a little bit. What do you want your legacy to be as a boxer when it's all said and done?
Well, I'm a Christian guy, and I believe that by me, I found that love is the key to anything. Now, I remember as a kid, because my mom didn't read, my father didn't read, and it came down to, I was mad in school because I was wondering why these other kids could read and I couldn't read. And my mama said, well, are you ever mad because you run faster than them? They don't. She said, everybody got something that other people don't have. Be thankful for what you have. And so as a kid, I was very strong and I hit real hard. And so I chose boxing. And because my mama said, be thankful for what you have. And life is about love. Love is about whatever you love, this is what you're going to work on. You're going to prepare yourself properly. And at the end, you're no different than the other person. Everybody got something that you're better than them at.
Beautifully said. It was a great time interviewing. You're a Hall of Famer, a legendary champion. It was an honor to get this interview.
Thank you.